Old Soul Young World.
What up, y'all? This is Jessie Elly from Old Soul Young World. We're here at the Graff City Jam DC Dark vs. Light in Beverly, Mass. with the one, the only owner of Graff City. What up, Chris?
How we doing?
Can you let people know kind of when you kind of started this place and what is it? What is Graff City?
So we are the premier spot in New England for spray paint. We support the graffiti culture. We carry 4 of the biggest brands of paint out there. Number 1 selling paint here in the store is Dang.
Shout out.
The artists love it. We use it. We sell it. You know, we are the spot. We have a 600-foot legal permission wall. We put our jams on 6 times a year. Everything from themed comics, Halloween, holiday, autism themes. We just do it all. And like today, we have 40 plus amazing graffiti writers from New Jersey, Vermont, Maine, Boston, and New England, North Shore, and a bunch from Lynn too.
Yeah, bringing all the cultures together here at Graff City. We love it. And, you know, what was behind you picking the theme for today's event for the DC, you know, superhero vibes?
We always put comics into the culture because if you dig back to the history in the 70s and the 80s, a lot of the inspiration for the lettering comes from the comics. Yeah. Jack Kirby's of the world and DC and typography. So, you know, we didn't have any other references. There was no such thing as graffiti. And a lot of these artists will draw from the comic book covers. Cereal boxes and stuff like that. That's just the basis of graph letters, typography. Sure. So I think anyone that was doing graph in the early 80s and stuff, you know, they're reading DC Comics and Marvel Comics, and they're seeing what, you know, it says X-Men, and they're taking those letters and they're adapting them to their style and their signatures.
For sure. And, you know, you're not only the owner of Graff City, but you're also an artist yourself, I've heard. When did you first pick up a spray can, and what's your style when you do?
So I like to say I stick to the Lynn Boston style, a lot of extensions and little bits and pieces. But graffiti for me goes back to like 1985, 86 on a family trip to Florida. And the first time I ever saw my first set of bubble letters was lower deck of the GW Bridge. I believe, hopefully I'm not wrong here, but just coming through the Bronx. That was the first time I ever saw graffiti. And, you know, that year, school, I bought my first spray can art magazine, which anyone in this culture knows what it's like. And from there, I just loved it. I've dabbled in every medium out there. I paint on canvases, I drew comics, I spray. I don't want to say I'm an active writer. I'm not going to pretend to be an active writer. I craft, I create, I just anything and everything. Yes. You know, every medium is open.
Yeah, and once you tap into, I feel like the graph culture, it's hard to tap out, you know?
Yeah.
So it's part of it.
For me, producing the scale, the size of what graffiti requires, you know, on a piece of paper, it's great, it's small, it's lovely. But you come out here and you do something that's 20, 30, 40 feet long, 8 feet tall, the scale is what makes graffiti, I think. I think it's the canvas, canvas being concrete and brick and metal and steel. There's nothing better than that. You're dealing with the element in front of you opposed to a nice clean piece of paper.
Definitely.
You have to adapt to that environment.
And I know you guys are the only legal graffiti wall on the North Shore. I don't know if I'm wrong on that.
I guess technically from the North Shore, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we have the wall in Cambridge, and there's a couple other spots in the Metro West and stuff like that. But there's only a half a dozen in Mass, and maybe in New England there's maybe a dozen spots that I know of. And if there are more, nobody's talking about it because they don't want them to get all blown up.
For sure. And I'm just wondering, like you said, you put on 6 jams a year here. What is the importance to you to be able to put these jams on and get people from New Jersey, New York, Boston, Connecticut, etc., anywhere to be able to get together and create art?
It's a no beef zone. We want everybody. We want every artist. There's so many greats. I mean, last year we had Canada, we had a kid from Cali, we had, you know, New York. Both sides of it, Brooklyn and the Bronx. I mean, and when these guys get together and they paint, they're amazing. Yes. You know, and so you leave any old school beef behind and come out, paint, enjoy the day, and just show off what you can do.
For sure.
You know, I love the New York graffiti in the sense that these guys kill it with giant productions. Boston's trying to show that they can do productions and big stuff, and just get everyone together and do it.
Definitely.
You know, just paint, man,
Yes.
just paint.
And can you let people know kind of what you offer here? Besides, I know you sell the spray cans, specifically prime dang paint, but workshops or offering of when the wall is open, and where's your location at?
So we're in Beverly, Massachusetts, 17 miles north of Boston, off of 128. We do kid classes here on the weekends from ages 11 through 16. Teach them the basics of graph, lettering, and just get them into it and understand it. Teach them a little bit of the culture.
For sure.
The wall's open 24/7. It is a permission. We call it a permission wall because we are responsible for maintaining it. But it's open 24/7.
Awesome.
We ask that everyone just treat it like any other spot. Respect it. Throws, tags, throws, and burners. One over the other. Leave it in better shape than you found it.
Yeah, and no beef zone. Remember that.
We want everyone just to enjoy it.
For sure. And just to wrap up, Chris, do you have any advice for any artist right now trying to get into the graffiti game, trying to get into the culture, trying to find more spots or places or opportunities like you're offering here?
Yeah, I mean, everyone likes to talk about know your history. And I think this is the biggest debate out there is anyone growing up in the culture now, their history is the current artists out there now, not the scenes and the leads and the guys that grew up in the 80s and early 90s. Anyone that's been painting since 2000 to say 2020 is the new history for the younger kids. So I think the young kids got to reach out to the guys that are painting now because the moment is the history that's being created. I got a lot of greats that I can talk about that I appreciate from the 80s and early 90s. Lynn had some amazing artists, but the kids out there will never know who some of these guys are. So my advice to any writer that's out there now is like give the kid a chance.
Yes.
Give them a chance, let them become something, and let the culture keep growing and get better.
100%.
And the guys that are out there right now, not the old guys, the guys in their 40s right now. We're creating history for the young kids right now. So
Yes.
That's all I have to say to them.
Appreciate that. And history always carries on, and like you said, it's like the present is the future and the past. It's just mixed into the now. So people coming up now, just look for your own authentic self. Look for what inspires you, because that's really what it is to be an artist. Just be inspired and having fun with it.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, and the culture evolves, the art evolves, and one other thing I would put it to the younger kids is take Instagram out of the day-to-day thing. Just go out there, do your thing. Don't do it for likes. Just do it.
Ooh, don't do it for likes. Just do it. You heard that? Nike sponsor us. Let's go.
Just paint.
For sure.
Paint for yourself first, and then if there's fame to be had, it's because you put in 20, 30 years worth of work. That's all.
Self-investment is everything. Yeah. And could you just let the people know if they're interested in coming to the shop, buying some, cans, whatever it may be, coming to a jam, where they can find you on social medias?
Yeah. So Instagram, Graff City USA. Look for the G. Look for the big green and black G logo. That's the brand. We do have a website, graffcity-usa-.com. We ship all over the country, free shipping. We love artists that, not just graffiti writers, but mural artists and any kind of street artists that want to come in. We do big discounts for anyone doing big productions. We want to support them, and we understand that it's expensive. So come in, see us. We do offer the discounts, and you're not going to find anyone cheaper than us.
That's for sure. You guys heard it here first from Chris, the owner of Graff City in Beverly, Mass. Make sure you guys check them out on all social medias. We're going to be following up with a lot of great content from today's jam. So make sure you guys follow those artists, come and check out the space yourself, and stay tuned for the end of the recap of what we got from the DC Dark First Light. Thank you so much, Chris. We appreciate y'all.
Awesome, guys.
Stay tuned.